Executive Order 14,228, Further Amendment to Duties, Addressing the Synthetic Opioid Supply Chain in the People's Republic of China. March 7, 2025. Purpose of the order. This executive order further increases tariffs on Chinese imports as part of the U.S. response to the ongoing synthetic opioid crisis. It specifically raises tariffs from 10% to 20% on certain products from China to pressure the Chinese government to take stronger action against the production and export of synthetic opioids like fentanyl. Section 1. Background. Executive Order 14,195, February 1, 2025, imposed tariffs on Chinese imports in response to the failure of the People's Republic of China, PRC, to stop the flow of synthetic opioids into the United States. Fentanyl and other synthetic opioids originating from China have been identified as a major contributor to the U.S. opioid crisis. Executive Order 14,200, February 5, 2025, made additional amendments to EO 14,195, but did not achieve the intended effect, as China has not taken sufficient enforcement actions against the illicit drug trade. The U.S. government has determined that the synthetic opioid crisis remains an active national emergency, and China has not cooperated adequately to curb illegal exports of these substances. Section 2. Amendment to Tariff Rates. The current tariff rate on certain Chinese imports is increased from 10% to 20%. This increase aims to intensify economic pressure on China and force greater cooperation in stopping the manufacturing and trafficking of fentanyl-related substances. The tariff applies to specific categories of Chinese imports, as previously defined in Executive Order 14195. Overall summary. This executive order doubles the tariff rate, from 10% to 20%, on certain imports from China in response to the PRC's continued failure to curb fentanyl and synthetic opioid trafficking. Key takeaways. China has not taken adequate action against fentanyl trafficking. Despite previous tariffs and diplomatic efforts, China has not made meaningful progress in stopping fentanyl exports. Tariffs on Chinese imports are increased to 20%. The tariff hike aims to pressure China into greater enforcement action against illicit opioid production and distribution. U.S. national security and public health concerns remain. The synthetic opioid crisis is still a major threat to U.S. national security, public health, and the economy. The current administration is escalating economic countermeasures to address the crisis. This order strengthens the U.S. economic response to the opioid epidemic, targeting Chinese exports as a leverage point to force action against illicit drug production and trafficking. Subscribe for more!